Welcome in, everybody. James Phillips here. It's the Coach Bailey Show. After a week off, Coach, we're back to talk about let's talk just a second about the Clay Chalkville game, and then we'll move forward. So Clay Chalkville comes in. They showed why they're one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a really athletic ball club. So our kids came out swinging. I did think we started a little faster. That was something we talked about. We took the ball to start, went on a long drive. We were able to sustain that drive. I think we converted 2 third downs and a 4th down on that drive. We were able to stay on the field for a while, which was something that we were planning to do in that game, try to limit the number of possessions that they got with the football. So we were able to keep it for about 8 minutes. Got down there and missed a field goal. I thought that would have been big for us to be able to get a lead in that game, to get some kind of score. But we stalled out in the red zone. Then they got it. Defense got a stop, kind of rocked around there for a while. We threw a pick 6 that was really tough on that deal right there. That was their first score, was a defensive score. Ended up having another opportunity to score right before half. Kevon had a big run over the left side, down on their sideline. Got down there in the red zone, ended up missing another field goal. So we went in the locker room down 19-0, against a really athletic team. Really good program. Got it to start the second half. We're able to go down and score on kind of a freak play, really. A ball that got knocked off of Trayvon, and that's something that we worked a lot in the bye week, is ball security, snaps, center quarterback exchanges, ball security. Big point of emphasis for us right now. But Kevon was able to pick that thing up, break a tackle, and was able to go score the football. So not exactly how we drew it up, but that's if you look at an actual football, it's kind of a funny shaped deal, and it'll take some funny bounces sometimes. Right, yeah. And that one bounced our way, so we were glad to have it. So got a score right there, cut it to 19-7. So to be in a 2-possession game, kind of right there in the third quarter with a program of that caliber, we're in the fight. Right. That's what I told our guys. We were in it, for a little while, and then they got the ball and went down and scored on their first play, and it was kind of hard to sustain much momentum after that. But our kids kept swinging. They stood in there and fought, and proud of them for that.
Well, and now we move to the next region game, and it's just about as tough going to Gardendale.
Yeah, it's another top 10 team in the state. So I think Coleman, Clay, Gardendale, and Pinson either are or were all ranked in the top 10 in the state in 6A. So Gardendale is another very good football team. The only 2 games they've lost this year have been to Pinson and Clay. And then they beat Sparkman and Smith Station, which are both 7A schools. Right. And they beat both of those guys. So they got a lot of good players, man. They're big up front on both sides. They're bigger than Clay up front. They have 2 interior defensive linemen, 90 and 93, that are both big boys. They got a defensive end, 17, that's a young kid. He's just a sophomore. He's got some big-time offers. I think he's got Florida State and Tennessee from what people are saying, and he's a handful now. Right. He's a good football player. 55 is another D lineman that can play. 4 and 27 are linebackers that are big, and I'm talking about like 6'2", 230. They're good-sized guys. Number 1 plays safety for him. He's committed to Troy on the defensive side. So team speed, top to bottom, they're not nearly as fast as Clay. I don't know that anybody will ever play team speed. Right. It won't be as fast as what Clay was. But they do have some good size, and they're very good. Defense. Offensively, it all kind of goes through their quarterback. Number 18, he's committed to West Virginia. He can run it and he can throw it. I would say he's a better passer than he is a runner, but he's more than capable with his feet. He has really good touch. We watched him play in person last Friday because we were off, so we went and watched the Clay and Gardendale game, and he's better in person than he is on film. His touch, his understanding of situational football, he's a really good player. Their back, number 7, can go. He's their dude. Now they just have 1. Clay had about 5. Right. Gardendale has 1, but he's good now. He's big, he's tough to tackle, and when he gets loose, he can go. He walked away from Pinson Valley at one point in that game. So good football team, man. It's a formidable challenge, something that we're excited about. We need to go out and play well. And that's what we're planning to do.
Right. Going over there, it's looking like a lot of rain. Is there anything y'all are doing this week to?
I'll tell you what, man, 2020 continues. Right. Never a dull moment of 2020. So, yeah, with the hurricane down in the Gulf, it's looking like we're going to get quite a bit of rain, I believe starting tonight or tomorrow. They're even talking about some flash flooding in this area. So Gardendale has a grass field. It's kind of built down in a hole the way their facility is kind of laid out. It's a beautiful facility, but it's kind of lower, as far as Doesn't drain extremely well, so probably going to have a pretty sloppy game. Muddy. That's something we've already started talking about. We will actually do some of our practice this week on our practice field out there on the grass. So you got to try to find a balance with that. You know, you got to get quality practice reps. We don't want to be slipping and sliding and slopping around on our practice field, but you got to get them prepared for that. You know? So you don't want to get somebody injured in conditions like that before you even get to the rain game, trying to prepare for a rain game. So you find a balance. We'll try to prepare them for it. You know, so Friday night's not the first time, you know, they're out there on it, but also, you know, keeping our guys safe and getting the best quality practice reps that we can.
Right, and you guys aren't an NFL team or anything, so you're not changing cleats or you know anything like that.
We've done that before. We did that 2 years ago when our field was so bad. Remember, and we had all that rain. We hosted those 3 playoff games. We got different cleats for the linemen because they're in Silicaga. We were slipping and sliding out there. So we have some things like that that we might pull out. But no, we're not an NFL team. We don't have the all access to all the things they do.
Right. Well, what do you think about just how do you keep the guys up? How are you keeping yourself up playing against top 10 teams every week, it seems like?
It's just about fixing your perspective. You know, I was at a Bible study this morning, you know, and that's what we talked about. You just got to make sure that you have the right mindset about it. Your purpose, you know, has got to be bigger than whatever it is you're going through in that moment, right? The adversity that we're all going through, the obstacles, there's a reason for it.
Right.
And you just got to fix your perspective on that. You know, it's bigger than football. It is. What we do for a living in this game, it is about wins and losses. It'll always be about wins and losses. But ultimately, there's got to be something bigger than that. Not aside from that, but there's got to be something beyond that.
Right.
And it's about the relationships you have with your coaches. It's about the relationships you have with your players, the relationships that they have with each other. You know, because long after the championship rings and all of those things, which are great, but long after those things fade away, it's the relationships that you have that are going to sustain you through this. So our kids are doing a great job, man. You know, and they know what they're up against. I mean, they know that the teams that we're playing have a lot more kids than we do, and bigger and stronger kids, and all those things. We're not naive to that, but you know, our kids are doing everything they're asked to do, and they're fighting, and they're showing up every day to get better.
What do you think about the bye week? Did that come at a good time? Are you guys healthy now, or you know, what are we?
It did, yeah. About as close to the middle of the season is when you would like for your bye week to be. You know, the past couple of years we had it week 2, so we'd go through fall camp. You know, we'd play that first game and then we were off. You know, so having this one, you know, after playing a few games was a good time. A little beat up. Spencer, his surgery went well. He'll be back in about a month. That surgery went as well as it could, you know, and he's doing everything. He started PT. We've got him a game-ready machine at his house that'll help with some of that swelling and ice and all those things. So Andre Neal, still trying to get his heart condition exactly figured out, you know, so we can get him back as soon as we can. And we got a couple other guys that are nicked up, but it did come at a good time. We got healed up. You know, we were able to get a lot of physical work in on the field. You know, really get better. That's the focus of the bye week, is to focus on us. You know, to get better at being Jasper, and I think that's what we did.
When you got JV and also the junior high started up too, so got the young guys out there. JV struggled against Clay, but that's kind of to be expected.
They did.
And then the junior high's been out playing too. It's good to see those guys on the field.
Yeah, it's good to see those young guys. You know, we got our numbers are up, you know, with the junior high. That's class that was 6th graders last year that are 7th graders this year. There's a lot of good athletes, you know, in that class. My wife was telling me about them. She's the librarian down there at Maddox.
Right.
And they got some big boys down there in that. And that's really a cyclical thing in Jasper as far as the linemen. You know, there you'll have waves where you have some big bodies and some big linemen, and then you'll have times, you know, where it's a little more lean and you don't have as many big bodies. So, so that's a group with some more big bodies down there and some good athletes. So we're excited about that young bunch that's coming up.
Well, what do people need to know about going to Gardendale? Anything different with COVID? Like, do they need to get tickets ahead of time, or?
Yeah, I think you can still get tickets on GoFan, and they'll probably have some tickets at the gate. So I think everybody, you know, in our region, everybody around here, I think the restrictions are pretty much uniform. You know, they're limiting capacity. I know you can buy them online, but they'll probably have some available at the gate. So yeah, we need as many Jasper folks there as we can get.
Yeah, well, you had a good. The only road game so far, you had a good crowd to come to Coleman.
We did, yeah, and that's a big one. You know, that game means a lot to our community, so we knew that the Jasper people would travel well for that one, even being a Saturday afternoon kickoff after the tornado that came through on Friday. But yeah, we definitely had a big crowd there. That means a lot to us, you know, that our people travel with us, and hopefully we can have a good group at Gardendale.
Anything else for anybody to know, or just a good go Vikes for the end?
Go Vikes!
There you go. All right, well, we'll be back next week when we'll talk about the win over Gardendale. And then we'll talk about next week's game, quite a road trip to Demopolis, too. So until next time, I'm James Phillips for Coach Bailey. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Jack.